people are still human. Like, even if you do identify as someone who is afflicted by this disease of just drinking your face off constantly and not being able to stop, you can stop and go through a program and do everything and still fall back down. And then you got to pick yourself back up, and it's one day at a time.
I've literally never thought of this before. And if I sound like an ass, I apologize. I'm going to say that straight up. However, I feel like I might be on to something.
I'm eagerly waiting with anticipation.
Yeah, sorry. Why can't we create a system the same way that we have for AA? For abuse, to where if you are the victim or survivor of abuse, you have a sponsor. And what I mean by that is, like, especially if you are currently going through something, there could be some kind of sponsor system to help you get, I don't want to say courage. I'm saying, like, get to a point to where you can feel comfortable to try to get out, because we all have heard of, and some of us know about how difficult it is when you are in a pattern of abuse to get out of it, because you feel so alienated, because that's one of the first things abusers do.
And isolate
you.
Yeah.
And it's like, if there could be, like, I don't say this in a jovial way, but like a buddy system, like someone that you could talk to outside of your friend group. Because a lot of times the first group of people they isolate you from is your family.
It's your family and friends, yep.
And it becomes so much of a mental warfare game that it's hard for you to be able to get to them, because they're also going to be hyper fixated to help you because they've been waiting to help you.
Right.
They know they got to get you out. It's like finding out a loved one is in a gulag and you got to go get them out. You're going to fucking rush in. But if you could get a mercenary to go in and like Extraction 2, starring Chris Hemsworth. I've seen it before, but I was just watching it the other day. But it feels like that. Like, you don't bring in a close relative who's going to come in emotionally. You're going to get killed. They're going to get you killed. But if you could get not necessarily just a mercenary, but in that movie, it wasn't a mercenary. It was someone who is a mercenary who's also emotionally invested. That's the ultimate rescuer. Because they're going to do everything they can to help you and get you out of this. And that is a movie about abuse as well. Like, that's, yeah. And it's just like, but they also have the focus of, no, this is how I get you out. I don't get you out by flailing. I get you out by helping you swim. So let's keep swimming. Let's get you out of this, like, I feel like if we had more systems in place like that, and I know that there are some systems that try to do that, like, as a male, that we've said this before, like, I think we said it in the part that didn't get recorded, like, we're two males talking about abuse. Like, we understand how insensitive that could sound to other people, but we can only talk about it from the male perspective. And we are wanting and open to having more women come on and talk about it, but we also know how difficult that is too.
Of course.
But someone has to get the conversation started.
Sure.
And so this is our attempt at that, and saying, like, no abuse is okay.
Right.
And I wish that there was more, like, we were able to fund more systems like that to help people who really need it, to help families who really need it, that need to change their life. And it doesn't even always have to be where the families separate. Like, the same way that an abuser may have been taught a behavior, if they're willing to make the change, it can be untaught. You know, like people who get addicted to drugs, if you're able to get them on the right program and they have the desire to change, to turn their life around and never ever go back on it,
Yep.
you know, like they can have a second chance, but it's
Yep.
on them, you know. But they also, and then I think you had said this earlier on the part we didn't get, but about like for an abuser, like how do they find a sense of like how do you help them?
Yeah.
When they're the abuser, they're
Right.
the piece of shit.
Yes, right.
Like, how do you get them to finally turn around and be like, "Oh, I want to be better"?
Like yeah, and I think I remember I was talking about that, and I gave it kind of an example. It's like, okay, let's say like, you know, I don't know who did it, and whatever. The point is that like, I mean, a football player, the NFL was recently brought into the Bachelorette as like an example. It's like, how come, you know, whenever a football player like beats the shit out of his girlfriend, like we don't cancel the entire NFL, but like one Bachelorette does something and we cancel her. I'm like, okay, well, I did some research on that. So actually, what happens is we have a players' association which punishes them. We suspend the player. You know, we fine the player. We do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The NFL is a massively much larger organization than The Bachelorette TV show, where the singular star player did the thing. That's one thing. The other thing I wanted to really touch on is you were mentioning like different programs, and you know,
real quick before you finish
yeah.
Because I think we were talking about The Bachelorette for a second, and then we restarted. Okay. Sorry.
No, totally.
I was making sure we restarted.
Absolutely.
Because the way we were going back and forth, I was like, did we restart? But we didn't. Sorry.
The thing I wanted to touch on, you were mentioning like different groups. I mean, there are so many different support groups. Specifically, when you brought up AA as an example, great example, an amazing program. Also, I think the sort of the sister program to AA, if we were to take it in terms of like Alcoholics Anonymous.
Wait, I thought it was Animaniacs Anonymous.
Oh, well, that's a different one, but that's there too. Fan.
Sorry.
No,
I'm not making light of it.
AA is a program where it's like it's teaching you how to live with yourself if you are the person in the throes of the poison, of the disease itself. Whereas its sister program is for those who are dealing with a person who is going through that, is called Al-Anon. And Al-Anon is a program like that where it's like, I can have a sponsor, I can call my sponsor, I'm going through these things with this person who is experiencing this disease and this problem.
Yeah.
You know, and they do meet up regularly in order to talk about these various things. It does kind of, a lot of change comes down to, are you the one who's, you know, rolling over on your back and staring up at the sky and praying to God, like, I need help? Or is someone saying, you need to get help or else? In my experience, just from the things I've viewed, if someone is saying, do this or else, it's never going to elicit the response you're looking for.
No.
Ever.
Especially not American.
No. For anyone who is truly desperate for the new bit of help, it was something that was said to me a while ago. I was given the gift of desperation. I was so desperate that I needed change in my life, in myself, in a lot of different things, that I was given the gift of desperation, that I was more than willing to do anything that was required to get me through to my new life.
Yeah.
And while that was very hard to hear, as I get older and now farther removed away from my own experiences of time in an abusive relationship, I can't thank my own desperation enough. I'm thankful that I was able to be so desperate that I remember it vividly. I just rolled over on my back and I stared up at the ceiling. And my ceiling at the time had this like stucco looking stuff on like popcorn on the ceiling, and my brain was so distraught with grief and anger and fear and everything that I just looked at everything and I felt the isolation. I felt the how lonely I was. And I begged. I mean, I hadn't spoke. I mean, I was I wasn't brought up incredibly religious as a child. And I turned myself away from it for a very, very long time for reasons that we don't need to get into on the podcast. But I remember that moment. That was the first time I said, I don't know what to do, but I need help. And you are as good as any to start asking, because I cannot do this on my own anymore. I'm in so much pain and grief from this relationship. I don't know what to do. And that's where popular sayings in these support groups and anonymous groups too, it's just one day at a time. That's all it can be. Yeah, just keep, as my mom, the wisest sage in my life, has always said to me, like, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and after a while you're gonna look back and be like, holy shit, that's a mile. And then another, and then you just keep going. And look, man, no one's perfect, because I mean, in terms of like, I can't speak for the members of AA by any means. I shouldn't. That's actually part of the core tenet of it. But people are still human. Like, even if you do identify as someone who is afflicted by this disease of just drinking your face off constantly and not being able to stop, you can stop and go through a program and do everything and still fall back down. And then you got to pick yourself back up, and it's one day at a time. That's all you're able to do.
Absolutely. I know we spoke earlier, off camera, technically.
Yeah.
Damn right. About, like making a mistake and not letting mistakes define you. And the thing was, what we didn't do was try to skirt accountability.
Right.
For your mistakes. Like, there are some things that happen that, like, I don't care who you are, at some point someone's going to accuse you of something that you haven't done.
Right.
But at some point someone's going to accuse you of something that you did. And when you did, you need to own that you did. I feel that, like, anything I've ever done to anyone, I've owned. I feel like any situation that I've been in, I know I'm sitting here talking about it, but I usually have witnesses like, for things, especially like I don't make my apologies private. I tend to make my apologies public, especially if my transgression was public. I want to make sure that people know that not only did I apologize, I am still apologetic, and like, even if it's something that you're saying I did that I don't even know I did, especially if we were out drinking, like, I still drink. I don't get blackout. But like, if someone came to me and said like, yo, we were all drinking this night and that night you blacked out and you said this to me, or you did this, like you broke something. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm fucking sorry, dude. I don't remember doing that, but like, yo, let me
so sorry.
Let me figure, like, what can I do?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it can't be replaced. It can't be replaced. Like, okay. So this is something I can't make up for, but I'm gonna try.
What kind of an agreement can we come to for me to make amends to you?
It doesn't. Yeah. Well, but that's what I mean. It doesn't even need to be an agreement at that time. It's like, at least I need you to at least know that I understand the gravity of what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
So it's like, it doesn't mean that you always have to be at the place of apologetic. Yeah. Like, you don't have to always be at the place where you're ready to apologize that you've done something wrong.
Right.
But what you do need to be at is the place of understanding that if you have done something wrong, you need to understand that you have. Like, the last time you were on the show, you were like, you did something wrong, own it. And that's the thing, owning it. we don't have as many people these days taking accountability and owning their mistakes. They want to own their wins. They don't want to own their losses. But like, dude, do you like? It's not like a bank where you can just throw the losses on a credit card and pay them off later.
Right.
It's a loss is a loss.
Right.
So we need to acknowledge the loss and we need to grow from it and do better
and take responsibility. The two-pronged thing, like taking responsibility for the things that you have said, you have done, and then taking accountability, which is accepting the actions and the consequences of what has happened that you have brought upon yourself.
And no one said you did it on purpose, dude.
And nobody said you did it
just because it was wrong doesn't mean it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've gotten to this point because so many people, like, cancel culture or whatever. Yeah. So many times it's like your mistakes, even if you own up for them, they can come back later. Mm-hmm. And so there seems to have developed this new breed of people who say, well, I just won't own any of my mistakes, so none of them can bite me in the ass later. It's like, that's not, it's not a blanket pardon. Those things do not exist other than that one, which I really think is so fucked up that a country built in a get out of jail free card. Like, I don't understand that. Yeah. I don't understand the presidential pardon the way that it is structured now. It should not be structured the way it is now, where it's just a get out of jail free card. And it's not even free. It's get out of jail using the money that you manipulated to get, and then get out of jail with that card. It's a credit card.
Yep.
It's
I picked up your analogy.
It's a credit card.
I was gonna... I don't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry, man. That joke went in directions I didn't plan for it to go. But it worked. It works.
I do it.
It works. But we were talking about accountability. I don't know if hearing that kind of jogs your memory a little bit.
We're talking about accountability, and it doesn't. I lost it. It was. I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, I hope it comes back to you here pretty soon. We still got a little bit of time left before we cut this, but I mean, again, there are all different forms of abuse, and we are saying that none of them are okay. It's not just physical; it could be mental, it could be emotional,
spiritual.
Spiritual. Yeah. It can be any different way. I want to make sure we also touch on, I think the way that you said you heard it described was reactionary abuse.
Reactive abuse,
and,
yes.
I really want to touch on that because what you don't want to do is give someone a get out of jail free card for abuse as well. Right. To say, oh, they mentally, emotionally, psychologically, they had like 5 different levels of abuse that they did to me. And I only really got the one. I only bring physical because I only bring my hands, bro. So I only brought hand abuse.
Right.
That's all I brought. So like they did 5. Like, I did.
And then me, let's say in this example, like me, now I'm going to jail because I only did physical abuse, but now we're not going to count the fact that I was emotionally, mentally, verbally, spiritually abused.
Right.
Leading up to.
And see, that's the thing where
again, no abuse is okay.
Right.
None of this is okay.
But here's where we have to make sure we put the gate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, but here's where the gate needs to be. It's not that getting all of the other abuses gives you the right, and it's not that all the other abuses, it's not that they don't, like, I'm saying it's not right to counter abuse with abuse.
Right.
And I think what we get really caught up in, God, you got to word this shit just right. I feel like what we really get caught up in is that a lot of people will let the 5 rings of abuse, if you want to call it that, and how they do not resort to physical abuse ever. And then they let it just build and build and build and build. And then they finally explode like a volcano. And it's like, hey, I'm a volcano. My nigga, it's not Hawaii. It's a relationship.
Right.
Like, you don't get to erupt whenever you want just because the ecological conditions were met for you to erupt, because there's also the accountability of, like, if we want to talk about abuse and people being abused, and we talk about people needing the support system in which that they can reach out to someone and say, hey, I need help.
That's right.
You like, there's also this way that the victim gets blamed because they stay in it for so long. And yeah, there's no amount of abuse that you can reach. Like, it's not like someone has a number of 7 and someone has a number of 1 and someone has a number of 47, where it's like, oh, you can abuse me that many times before it's the last fucking straw.
Right.
It's just, some people just think, oh, they're just a volcano.
Right.
Some people think, oh, well, this happened to my mom or this happened to my dad when I was a kid. So,
Right.
oh, it's a volcano.
Right.
Everyone gets one.
Right.
Like Spider-Man and Family Guy. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one abuse. No, you don't. Right. And I'm not saying that as someone who hasn't abused someone who's trying to cast judgment. What I'm saying is, the same way that if you run a red light or get into an accident, that there's going to be a repercussion. It doesn't mean that whatever led you there is no longer valid. It's just that we can't prosecute one without the other. Right. We can't cast judgment on one without the other. Like, if you are in a relationship that, I'm not saying you allow it, because that's muddy fucking water. I'm not qualified to define. I'm saying that being in that relationship and then waiting until the moment that you fucking blow up is not the path either, because as my bro on the industry perspective, he's also my roommate. Like, he'll be the first one to tell you. He would tell me all the time. And he's the reason that he helped me reprogram my own brain, where it was like, I wouldn't say shit to him that I would get annoyed about, like, around the house or whatever situation was going on, because we're also business partners. And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, we got to talk. Now I got a list of things we got to talk about. I got to tell you all the things that are wrong with you now, because I've been holding on to it for so long, because I'm the good one, because I kept the list. Me keeping the list, that's me being the good one. I'm free and clear. I kept the list. So if I blow up on you, I kept a list.
It was coming.
I kept a list. I told you I had a list. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's that as well. Like, you can't excuse either side. No. You know, like, I've made it very clear, even on this podcast, like, I got my DUI not because I was the one speeding. I was chasing the one speeding. But it don't stop my DUI. I still was speeding and had been drinking. Yeah. I wasn't drunk, but I was legally drunk, because guess what? I was found legally drunk. Right. Doesn't matter. All the, like, hey, officer, I know I'm legally drunk, but it was a prolonged drunk, because I was getting drunk all day. It was a prolonged drunk. It wasn't that I had all the alcohol at once. I had it all day. You know how I know that don't work? Because that was literally my excuse. I told them the truth. Yeah. The literal truth. I had been abusing my body all day with alcohol, and that led me to the point to where I was chasing after someone else who had been abusing their body with alcohol with me all day, to where we are in a situation that I didn't think they were going to put us in, and they did, and I reacted this way. This led to me being the one pulled over, because I was the one following them. Right. I was the one reacting. Right. They don't give a fuck. You're the one we caught.
I actually really liked your car analogy. I mean, two people in opposite different cars. Let's call those cars opinions, or differing.
I love that you're saying this. I love that you're saying this.
You know, they're barreling into each other. You know, I mean, one could be, I have this form. I'm emotionally, you know, hitting the gas pedal. I'm angry about this. I'm sad about this. The other person's just, well, I'm just drunk. As two different examples, and they're going to collide and hit in the middle. Yeah. And then, you know, stepping out from everything else, looking at it, it's like, well, which one's right? Neither of them are.
Yeah.
They both have committed now what is this car wreck of an atrocity. But what do we do after that? Well, first there's a report. Then we collect all the evidence. Then any innocent bystanders, well, they're going to have their opinions. Well, I saw this person hit a red, miss a red. Well, I saw this person gas too fast. I don't know, and then you're going to get people are going to have to get the help that they require. They're going to have to go off into their separate areas. Maybe someone's got some serious physical injuries. Maybe someone's got some serious mental injuries, and they're going to have to go through and process through those. Then at that point, now we've circled back. People could still, after a time, they go through a program, they can still buy a car again. Maybe now they have this life experience so that they know now, oh, I can't be on the road in this time. I can't be on, I should never be drinking this much or emotional this much, angry this much, whatever, in order to get behind the wheel. And they can still get back on the cars and start driving again. But maybe this time, because they're not in those same ways, they're going to pass away. My idea in that idea of them passing away is, what is it that we have to do as people that can get people the help they need, the people to listen to what it is they need, and how can we get them back on the road of life so that they're back to being a functioning, a social, independent person? Both abuser and abusee. Now, I'm not saying that those people need to go head and collide towards each other. In fact, quite the opposite. They should probably go the exact opposite way. My abuser, I did it again. I totally hit it again. My abuser, I truthfully, I wish them the absolute best possible life that they could possibly have. My caveat is really far the fuck away from me. But I do. I wish them the best. I really truthfully do. I don't want them in my life anymore. And so I don't know what it is to do to. I've sought help myself.
Yeah.
And worked through a lot of different issues, abuse. It's uncovered more things inside of me that I'm like, oh God, I had no idea that this was happening, and I was doing this, and this was happening, and then I go talk. Of course, once I'm not isolated anymore, I go talk to people that are like, you didn't know you were doing.
Yeah.
We have a larger conversation to have, and I'm like, yes, you are correct, and I've had those conversations.
Yeah.
And so, but I would never have had those conversations had I still stayed in that car lane of chaos. So that was a great analogy. I don't know if I made any sense.
No. Yeah, it was a perfect analogy. That's why I was smiling the way I was, because I've said this on the industry perspective before. I think actually I might have said it when you were on. I think I've said it on the cafe before, actually. And I was talking about how Patrice O'Neal said that relationships are as special as a car accident. And the way that you just described everything, think about the way that you just described everything through the lens of a relationship.
Yeah.
Not just two cars. Like, oh, got into the accident, we collided.
Right.
Okay, what do we do about this? Do we start a relationship, or do we just exchange information and go our separate ways?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
do we report it or not report
do we
it?
report it? Do we not report it? Like, is this going to be a thing? You know? Okay, like, are we going to get another car together?
Yeah.
you know, are we going to have kids in that car? Like, or do we need to?
What all?
Like,
what's
do we
what's
need
the
to be
baggage?
like? Do we need to be like progressive and bundle? Do we need to bundle this thing together? So I just, when you view it that way, which is how I have viewed it for the longest time, I'll say this about a conversation I had with one of our mutual friends last night. I was telling her about how I had went on this date recently. It's like my first date in like a year. And I was like, I'm not feeling it. But like, nothing against her. She's great. Attractive woman, fun to talk to, everything like that. But just like at this stage of my life, I'm not looking to date without intention.
Yes.
No matter what that intention may be.
Right.
If it's just we just gonna use each other's bodies, then that needs to be stated, and we can do that.
Yep.
And if we're trying to use each other's everything,
Yep.
okay, then that's a deeper conversation
We gotta have that
need to
conversation
have as
too.
well.
Yep.
Cool. But if I'm not feeling either one, I'm not at the point now where I'm just gonna hang out with someone just because I need a warm body next to me, you know, because dealing with the abuses that I have, whether it be through family or relationships, I mean, I've had a lot. I've collected abuse like infinity stones. I think I've got them all at this point. I think I've got them all. Like I don't know which one I haven't gotten yet because I'm telling you, even the ones that you're like, nah, he ain't got that one.
Is there? I got it.
Oh, I got that one. I got that one too. It's very much one of those things like it frames my mind. It frames like how I go about things. I told you about the relationship I was in that ended on New Year's. That's off camera now. So fuck it. Y'all don't get to hear it because the camera wasn't on. But you know, what she told me was, you know, I didn't date you because I wanted to be with you. I dated you because I wanted to be with the person I thought I could turn you into.
Right.
And for me, that informed me a lot because it let me know not everyone's going to want to be with me for me. And unfortunately, in my experience, I've never been in a relationship where the person I was with, I've never had a woman choose me for me. I've had a woman choose me because she liked how I made her feel, but I've never had a woman choose me because she liked the same things that I liked and really saw a future that I saw. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you had said before, when you first start dating someone, you see the future that you envision with them.
Yes.
And they may see a different one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I have ultimately come to realize is that I've never been in a committed relationship with a partner who actually had the same future in mind that I did. Like, not at all. Like, they never saw a future with me being the person I was. They saw a future with me being the person they wanted me to be.
Right.
And that's where a lot of abuses come from, is they're trying to mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, like fucking hammering a sword. Mm. They're trying to beat you into what they see you as. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, that's not what I was when you met me. I might not have been the piece of metal that you valued, but it doesn't mean that I'm not valuable to someone else. Right. Let someone else find me, and I'm the metal that they choose. Right. And then you can go find the metal that you want. You don't got to go beating motherfuckers to make them into what you want. Right. Just go find what you want. And if you haven't found it yet, then take some more time. You don't got to rush this shit, bro.
And also, because it may not be out there because maybe you crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, and you could be the problem. You're not a good blacksmith. Mm-hmm. Like stop welding. Stop beating. Stop doing all of it. Stop beating. Like, stop beating. Yeah, like stop. Like, really, for real, just fucking stop. You're not as smart as you think you are. You are not as cool as you think you are. You're not as funny as you think you are. You are not the catch that you think you are. That's why your ass is in the ocean. Like, just fucking keep swimming, and eventually you'll find someone who wants to hook you and stay with you for the rest of your life or their life or whatever it is, man. But stop harming all these other people along the way just because you don't want to take the time to be alone with yourself and work on yourself to not harm anyone else. You'd rather use someone else as a flotation device through this thing we call life. And then you don't care as long as you're fucking breathing. Yeah. You don't care if they eventually can't keep you. Yes. Yeah. If they can't keep you afloat anymore because they've been underwater for so long, you'll just move on to the next flotation device.
I've decided to not be anyone's water wings anymore.
Yeah. Hey, just keep swimming, man.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. But yes, there are so many different forms of it, and we excuse none of it. And we excuse none of it on either side or any side, because let's not act like relationships are just one way or two way. It's not just male, female. They're all different kind of relationships out there, and there are all different ways that abuse can manifest themselves.
Right.
There are sometimes, especially when you are a person of a community that is already being targeted and already being marginalized, that you can take out that abuse on someone else within your community and someone who is your partner, because you are trying to exercise the demons that have been exercised on you, who's someone who that hasn't healed yet.
That's not their fault. They didn't do that. They don't deserve that projection. No, and I think I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll be a little hippy dippy on this shit, but like, I think more than anything, the only thing that's going to really solve this is just finding more love on people. Because like, you've committed, maybe you have committed an atrocity, and that's unforgivable, and no one is defending that whatsoever, but you still deserve love.
Yes.
And so, and the person who's had this atrocity committed to them, not okay, never said it was, completely wrong. You still deserve love.
Yes.
Because you might be in a headspace now of like, maybe I deserve this. What has come upon me, maybe I deserve this. And you don't.
Yeah.
No one deserves abuse. It is not okay.
Well, when you say no one.
Well, let's talk about it.
Here's the thing.
Except that motherfucker that comes into the bar on Thursday nights. God, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. And fuck the president he voted for.
Fair.
Some people, I'm sorry, I've seen too many monsters in my day.
Yeah.
Some people,
you don't have a problem throwing them off a bridge with a
bro. Like when we say everyone deserves love, some people are just so poisonous that you can't, because when you watch what the love of them does to the person who loves them, and then what the poison of that love does to the people who love them.
Yeah.
Sometimes a poison needs, like, sometimes venom needs an anti-venom. Like, you can't just keep saying, oh, it's just venom, we'll deal with it. Like, the body will deal with it. Yeah. The brain will deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, no, sometimes your body is smart enough to decide that something isn't supposed to be there anymore when it's harming the rest of the body. When you look at this country and what this country has meant to so many people, to the point where it was considered a dream, even though it was real life. And we were living here knowing it wasn't a dream, but people over there still thought it was, wherever there might be. Sometimes there was next door and their dream of us was better than where they were. And we have allowed that hubris to poison us so much that we have become the abuser.
Yep.
We, like, America was in an abusive relationship, and now we are the abuser. We are the one abusing every other country out there. We are the one, and doing it in public where everyone can see it. We are emasculating our entire country where everyone can see it, just for the hubris of our abuser, who are trying to, the people in control are trying to get a yes from, trying to get, oh, please make me feel like I'm whole, because they are victims of abuse in one way or another. You see it. This shit with Kristi Noem and her fucking husband, that's abuse. It's not that him wanting to dress that way is the product of abuse. It's him feeling the need to be in the marriage that he's in, while being cheated on, while needing to find other people to make him feel like he was worthy of just being himself. All to serve another ideology that says they shouldn't even exist. While holding down the very people who say, I don't give a fuck if you like dressing like that. Just be a good person.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually really ignorant. I don't know what the story is that you're talking about.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
That you see how easy it is to be separated from shit?
Yep.
And if you were on the opposite side of this, it would be easy to convince you the opposite because you hadn't heard the story.
Sure.
Whereas, like for me,
I immediately, you've just told me the story. I have a side in my mind that I'm like, I'll bond to that.
Right. Well, yeah. What I'm saying is, what I see this whole story as more than anything else is a man who has been told his whole life it's not okay to be who he is, whatever version that is. And that's because the world he wants to be accepted by says you can only be A or B. And then they say the people on that side who say you can be A through Z, we've given you the whole alphabet. Nigga, pick a letter. We will make it fit under this fucking rainbow. We don't fucking care. Pick a letter. We even let fucking symbols in. We let a plus in. All right? And I say we loosely as an ally, like I am straight, but I'm saying just in the terms of speaking of people and saying it's okay to be who you are.
I just want to hate fuck her because she kills dogs.
I don't want to hate fuck her. I want to pay someone to hate fuck her. I don't want to touch her.
I'll take money.
People that hateful, nah,
I'll take money.
I can't get excited for that.
I would give her full of hate.
Eesh.
Spread my hate all over her face.
That's a South Park episode.
On that note, I've had a conversation.
Hold on, man. I did have a way. I was trying to take that, but that's a South Park episode. People wanting to hate fuck Christy Nome. She would enjoy that.
Probably.
You know, but see, that kind of brings me back, oddly enough, to what I was trying to say. When you see the division within this country, I've said it for a while, never on camera. Well, I don't think on camera, but I'm saying it on camera now. You can track where conservatives in this country are based on where porn goes.
Fair.
Because porn makes the videos that are going to get watched. That's all they're going to make. I am so sick of every porn star calling me their stepbro. I don't want to hear it no more. I never asked for it. All right? Don't call me stepdaddy either, because that's weird.
I got called daddy at work.
No, I'm saying like when you're watching porn, my nigga, like all this shit, it's every video is stepdad, stepmom, stepbro, like it's step this. Why you gotta be stepping on people all the fucking time? And they be putting their foot on their fucking face. I mean, if you like that, cool, but I don't feel like I need to do acrobatics.
That's your brand of porn, eh?
I'm saying a lot about myself.
All right.
I'm saying when you go on to a porn site,
you're projecting your search engine onto it.
No, what I'm telling you is that's why, as in Rick and Morty, they said that's why you create accounts, because it's the only way to get your searches to where you're not on tab 47. I ain't got that kind of time. You get 3 tabs out of me, bro. Sure. I got other shit to do today. All right.
I've got a bunch of open tabs. How many tabs do I have open? Let me find out. I have 65 open tabs right now, and it's all bullshit video game related. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, you see this shit where these motherfuckers are being told that it's not okay to be who they are, and want what they want, or like have the urges that they have. They're being told it's not okay to be human. I'm not saying it's okay to have a thought or not have a thought. I'm saying if you have a thought and it seems like it's a bad thought, probably talk to a professional about that and figure that out, and maybe let's work on that.
I agree.
But when it comes to you just being who you are, like, especially when it comes to sexually, is like you see Hollywood and the way that they intertwine sex and gore. It seems like there's always this turn where like the serial killer is being sexy, and then all of a sudden they're being stabby, and not the way that they were in the beginning of the art. So it's like we got to stop like fetishizing things that could easily be done through role play. That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a fetish you want to live out, there are professionals, as we found out through the Chrissy Nome thing. I'll tell you off camera because we've been talking long enough.
Fair.
But there are professionals that are willing to help you fulfill that fantasy. You can go watch whatever you want to watch on the internet or whatever, and you can exercise those demons, I guess. But like, you can, it's okay to be who you are as long as who you are isn't trying to harm someone.
Right.
Once you cross into the realm of harm, yes, you need to get help. And that's where I feel like we have gotten very convoluted is it seems like conservatives are shaming kids so early because kids are getting exposed to things that they should not be exposed to because of the internet. And they're being shamed into thinking a certain way because their parents are already thinking that shame, because their grandparents are thinking that shame. And it's like, but what are you feeling shameful for?
Right.
If it's already in the search engine to where porn stars feel okay acting it out, it's like they're only doing what they're getting paid to do as far as acting out a scene. They're not there to act out the scene. There's no Oscars. Well, there's AVNs. Yeah. But I'm saying like, but there's AVNs for a reason. That can be said, but they'd rather not be saying stepsis and stepbro is what I'm saying. You could get better porn if you stop fetishizing thinking about your stepsister and your stepbrother and all this other shit and think outside of your fucking family, please. And like be okay with the things that you like and what you want and stop letting people use that to control you and control your narrative, control how you vote, control how you think, because you're being told that you're not allowed to have an urge and then be told, hey, that can be directed in a different direction. Because like I hear this thing about gooners and all this other shit, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing, bro? Like, Gooning. Just rub one out. like, I'm sorry, this went in a different direction. Yeah. We were talking about something else, but I'm just
this
saying,
is falling
like,
under sexual abuse right now.
I'm sorry to abuse you this way. I'm just saying.
I just really want to bang a stepmom. I don't know. Someone's stepmom. I don't care.
Someone else's stepmom. Yes.
I just really want to bang someone's stepmom.
Someone else's stepmom. Someone else's stepmom. Like,
or stepsister,
I've known
whatever.
people who had stepmoms, stepbrothers, stepsisters, stepbrothers. They never were telling me I'm thinking about banging them. But all of a sudden it showed up in porn, and then it started getting like shoved down like the algorithm's fucking throat. I kept trying to find a way to not say that.
You walked right into it.
Yep, I did. And I just feel like like a lot of abuse comes from not having an outlet for feeling what you're already feeling, which is what I was trying to say. And that's, sorry.
An avenue.
I took you guys down a rabbit hole you didn't ask for. But I'm saying like not having an outlet for what you're feeling and being told that what you're feeling is wrong is what leads a lot of people down these dark paths.
Yeah.
And what a lot of it comes down to, and what the most carnal version of it is sex. And because we are told not to talk about sex and to still keep it taboo where the rest of the world doesn't do it that way, we are still allowing sex to be the thing that is held over our head. And a lot of racism is still rooted in sex. But that's a whole other video that we don't have time for.
Nope,
we don't. So, if you ever want to come back and have a conversation,
I would love to come back and have a conversation. It's a
but
good one, actually.
We need women here next time if we're going to have that conversation. We've already had too much of this conversation without women in the room. So we need to have some women in here so that they can talk about their sides of it. We don't need to just have the male perspective of this. And nor have we tried to just have the male perspective. It's just every time I schedule episodes with my female colleagues, they cancel on me. Sometimes they don't even cancel on me that day. They cancel on me the next day. They're like, hey, sorry, I didn't make it. And I'm like, I know you didn't make it. I was sitting there like Pablo Escobar in the GIF, just sitting there like, all right, I guess we're not recording, So I'd love to have more female perspective. I need y'all to actually show up and show out, because there's a whole other female side of the conversation that I ain't even got to be here. I'll just let some women come up here and have the fucking stage. We've done that on the industry perspective before, and I will totally do that on Soul Coffee Cafe. Like, if there are women who want to come up here and have this conversation, shoot me a DM, let me know. We can schedule it. Doesn't have to be here at the house. Like, we're pretty mobile. And we can let y'all have your conversation, and then we can come back and have, the female male dynamic as well. But we also need to have, you know, our gay and lesbian and trans friends come up here as well. You don't have to be here for everything. Not that you don't want to be. I don't want to make it sound like you're like, that's not in my contract. I don't want to be here. I'm just saying, like I said a little bit earlier, and I want to reiterate, like relationship conversations as a whole, you know, people, interpersonal relationships, everything. They're not just male to female, and it's not just a binary conversation. We have a lot of people that we can talk to and should talk to.
Yeah.
And if you have your side of it that you would love to come talk about, this is a place to do it. And we hope you do that soon, so that it's not just me and Kyle every time. Y'all come up here and say what y'all got to say.
We want to hear from you, actually. Your opinion means so much to every different issue.
Yes. Because we learn. You're about to learn about the whole Christian home thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm actually really excited about this.
Each one teach one. See y'all next time.